Now this dish I'm reprising because it is a total, actual dish that came about looking in the cupboard and seeing rice, arborio rice, which you usually use for risotto.
Well, it's all this food I brought home from a job.
Oh, that's true.
And you were like, oh, why don't I
You're absolutely right.
do
And
this with that?
Somebody had opened up some noodles that were big. You know, there was only like half the thing there, and I thought, oh, could I put that in there? And I had some mushrooms. So I took this basic pilaf recipe that I usually just make with rice and onions, and I decided, I actually envisioned this before I made it. I pictured these noodles nesting in their little circles inside a rice pilaf. It was so good that I'm making it with the pork, and I think that it's going to be a hit. So we have a lot of mushroom here, cremini mushroom, and I'm actually going to get the pan going. And Calder is kindly, for somebody who should be just sitting back resting for his birthday, mincing up shallots, 3 shallots. It could be an onion, but you know, I guess we probably just had a shallot in the house when I made this dish. So I'm just getting these cut because we want to get them into the pan with some butter and really cook them down into our big pan. And we do need a big pan. This is where you're bringing out, you know, your largest skillet that you have, and you need some sides to it also. So this is going to get cooking, and we're going to let this cook, but I'm going to get some salt in here. Salt, when you bring it in early with the mushrooms here, draws out that moisture, and that's what we want to do. And then what's left behind, like I said, is that nutty flavor that's just browning.
You've always taught me there's 2 ways to cook mushrooms. Add salt early or add salt at the end.
Little early birthday present, little wisdom now and then. I'm glad that I've made an impression and sometimes on you in the kitchen, Calder. You did a really nice job on these shallots, Calder.
Oh, thank you, Mom.
Okay, let's go over here and check what we're doing with the mushrooms. All right, now's the time to get the shallots in here.
Can I put these in?
Yes, please do. So basically, we get the aromatics in here with the mushrooms now that we have this nuttiness.
I spilled some shallots on the butter.
That's okay. It's your birthday.
It's my birthday.
It's your birthday. All right, so we get the shallots in here. And along with the shallots, after we get a good stir, we're going to bring in the rice. Now you might be wondering, and as I was wondering the first time I made this when I had nothing else in the house, will arborio rice, which is for risotto, work? And the answer is yes, and it was delicious.
Because normally with risotto, you got to work the rice to release the starch, right? To get the appropriate thickness, and that's what you were...
Yeah, I didn't know how it was going to work because it's very small, little short grain rice. Now I'm going to put a little more butter in here because we're going to toast it.
You know that I love mushrooms, and right now that smell of the mushrooms mixed with the pork is just like, oh,
it's your birthday. You're having all your favorite flavors.
And then I get a cake later too.
Yeah, and you know what cake that is.
I know, it's my favorite.
Yeah, and luckily for me, that's an easy cake.
Can I start dropping this rice? You think you're ready?
Yes, I am. 5 cups, actually. Remember, we're making it for a party, so we want a good amount.
A lot, yeah.
Yeah. So what we do is we just get the rice in here, and you want to get it coated with the butter and let it toast up a little bit and pick up some of that great flavor from the mushrooms. And when I first started making this, I thought, are you going overboard? Are you making way too much? But with all those juices coming out of that pork, you want to make sure that you have enough starchy deliciousness to soak up the juices. All right, so we stir this around.
Get all the rice toasted, and once the rice is toasted, we drop?
Drop what?
The nests of pasta?
No, not yet. First, what we want to do is, and we don't really drop, we nest.
We nest.
Hence the name of the dish. All right, I think this is toasted pretty well. So what I'm going to do is just kind of even it out, and we'll just try to put as many nests in as we can, because last time I made this, everybody wanted a nest. Okay. Like if you don't get a nest, you feel like you've been cheated.
You failed.
So if you just, I'll just make a little hole. This is another place I was experimenting. I'd never really seen anything like this. Honestly, I've never seen a recipe like this, but it works. All right, another one. Now over here in this pot, I have 9 cups of chicken broth heating up. So you can just get it, best quality store-bought chicken broth, or now would be the time to raid your freezer if you happen to have chicken broth in your freezer. So this is what happened when I first made this, is I had an open bag of these noodles, which doesn't always make me happy. I like to cook a whole bag of noodles. So when they were left over, I thought, oh, what am I going to do? Okay, so this is it. Isn't that cool?
It's really cool.
I'm actually very happy about it. This is like a present to you, Calder. So then all we do is get this in here, bring it to a boil. Not really a big boil, just a simmer. It's so nice and hot that it'll do it automatically anyway. Get the top on, and in 20 minutes, it is going to be cooked and beautiful. It's worked out beautifully. Here are the nesting noodles in their rice pilaf, and it worked beautifully, and it smells divine.